It's a beautiful day in the neighborhood. The sun is shining, the birds are singing, and Gru is outside testing out his latest invention, a hailstone firing ray. Perfect, he says with a maniacal laugh, and he fires the ray into the sky. Meanwhile, Kevin, Stuart, Bob, and the other minions are frolicking in the park nearby, enjoying the nice weather and playing games. Suddenly, the sky darkens and hailstones start raining down from above. The minions look up in awe and wonder as they watch the hailstone-sized projectiles hurtle towards them. "Oh my glob," says Kevin, "quick, we need to do something," and so the minions set off to find shelter, but it's too late. A huge hailstorm is upon them, and they're caught in the open. Just when things seem darkest, they spot Gru's house and run for cover. But just as they reach the porch, the door slams shut. Gru yells Kevin, helpless. Unfortunately, Gru doesn't hear him, and the minions are forced to find shelter elsewhere. They look around and see a seesaw in the park. "Maybe we can hide under here," says Bob. And just as they get underneath, a large hailstone comes crashing down on top of the seesaw, pinning them to the ground. "Oh no," says Stuart, "we're trapped." But then Kevin gets an idea. He looks at the seesaw and says, "Wait a minute, this is a lever and I bet I can use it to get us out of here." As Kevin speaks, an animated graphic appears above the seesaw labeled lever. Arrows are shown indicating where force is being applied and the direction of movement. Kevin places one end of the seesaw on a rock to act as a fulcrum, and then he and Stuart work together to apply force to the other end, lifting the lever and freeing the trapped minions. "We did it, cheers Bob, the lever did the trick." Just then, Gru comes running out of his house to check on his hailstone ray. He sees the minions and asks, "What are you guys doing here?" Kevin explains what happened and Gru is impressed by their ingenuity. "You know, a lever is one of the 6 simple machines. The other 5 simple machines are inclined plane, pulley, wheel and axle, wedge and screw." "A pulley," says Gru, holding up a rope and bucket. "You can use a pulley to lift heavy objects with less effort." As he speaks, an animated graphic appears above the pulley labeled pulley. Arrows are shown indicating where force is being applied and the direction of movement. Gru uses the pulley to hoist himself up onto the roof of his house, pretending to be a minion. "Higher, higher," he yells, pretending to be scared of heights. The minions giggle at the sight of Gru acting like a scaredy cat until suddenly one of the pulleys holding up the system breaks and Gru starts plummeting to the ground. "Oh no," yells Kevin, rushing over to help. He grabs onto Gru's legs and swings him up and over to safety. "I don't think this pulley was a simple machine," says Gru, dusting himself off. "But hey, at least we're safe now." Next, the minions come across some old tires and tubes and decide to build a go-kart. "I love go-karts," says Stuart, "but wouldn't it be better if we had wheels and axles?" An animated graphic appears above the go-kart labeled wheel and axle. Arrows are shown indicating where force is being applied and the direction of movement. "A wheel and axle is a simple machine that makes it easier to move things by reducing friction," says Gru. The minions hop into the go-kart and buckle up. Bob gets behind the wheel and steers the vehicle around the track, while the others try to figure out how to make it go faster. Suddenly, Kevin has an idea. He grabs a bunch of bananas and straps them to the back of the go-kart. "Bananas make go faster," he says with a big smile. And sure enough, the banana-powered go-kart zooms around the track at lightning speed. Finally, it's time for the big race. Gru, Kevin, Stuart, and Bob line up with their respective vehicles and get ready to go. 3, 2, 1, and they're off, says Gru. The race is on. At the end of the day, the minions learned a lot about simple machines. They discovered that a lever is a rigid object that can be used to amplify force, a pulley is a grooved wheel that can make lifting heavy objects easier, and a wheel and axle is a combination of a wheel and a rod that can make it easier to move things by reducing friction. So what simple machines do you use every day? Let me know in the comments below. Thanks for watching. See you next time.